Welcome to Gaga Knits. My name's Anita and I live in South Wales in the UK, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Anita Bulb, and show notes can be found in the description box below. I hope you've had a nice few weeks since we spoke last. I've had quite a busy October with lots of things going on. I did put a couple of pictures at the beginning, so you've probably seen the things I've been up to. I went with a friend to the new theatre in Cardiff to see The Mousetrap by Agatha Christie. That was a brilliant play. If ever you get a chance to go and see it, I highly recommend it. I've been helping Harry with his homework. He had a school project of the Great Fire of London, so we built a house out of cardboard boxes and straw and glue, and we enjoyed that very much. A couple of friends and I went to the marketplace of the Knitty Retreat that is held in Insole Court. It is run by Zoe from Pins and Needles and Jenny of Owl About Yarn. It's a knitting retreat for the whole weekend, but the marketplace on the Sunday is open to everybody. So we went along to that and bought some things and also met some lovely people. My cousin Nikki came over from Canada for a visit, so she spent a few days with us. We've had a family Halloween party, and also just this weekend, just gone, I went on a coach trip with my crafty friend Paula to Birmingham. So it was a 2-day trip. On the Saturday you spend the day around Birmingham, and on the Sunday you go to the craft fair. I did hope that I could vlog it for you, but it was so busy that the footage I got wasn't really very good. So I'll show you what I bought that's crafty. I can't show you everything because some things are Christmas presents, but I can show you some of the other things too. And a couple of other friends we met on the bus, on the coach, that came along too, so that was nice. So I've got a couple of things to share with you, a couple of finished projects and a couple of works in progress. So we'll start with knitting, and I have started my Christmas jumper. So it's in this bag, beautiful project bag by Coco and Flora, but it's getting a bit big, so unfortunately I think I'm going to have to move it to something else. But here it is, and Eva from Coco and Flora also has a podcast, and she's told me that she is going to be knitting this jumper too. So I hope you're getting on okay with it. Right, let me show you a picture how it's supposed to look. There it is. It's a paid for pattern, and this is my progress so far. Make sure I get it the right way. So here we are, my progress so far. You can't really see the tree. The tree stands out because the background is pearl and the tree is knit, and I'm hoping once I've finished it and block it out, you'll see it a bit better, because you're supposed to use worsted yarn and I've used DK because I find jumpers in worsted are a bit restrictive. So and this does feel quite loose, but I'm hoping it's going to be okay. The yarn I'm using is from, is from Designer Yarns. This is all of it here, and it's DK with wool, so it's acrylic. Well, it's polyacryl, 75% polyacryl and 25% wool. It's quite soft, and as it was a Christmas jumper and I wouldn't be wearing it that much, I didn't really want to spend a huge amount of money on it. And Angela from Yarn and Yarns, who's also got a podcast and a bricks and mortar wool shop, sent this to me because she is in the process of getting or making a website, but at the moment she hasn't. But if you email her, she's very helpful and will, well, for me, she sent pictures of all the different DKs in green that she had that she thought would look nice as a Christmas tree jumper, and then I could select from those, and then she sent them out to me. But hopefully she'll have a website soon. So I'm making good progress on that now. You have to knit the upper parts flat, and then you join them all together and knit at the armholes, and then you start knitting in the round. I did have a little bit of difficulty because I was unsure which way to sew the Christmas tree pattern. So there's the chart. You start at the bottom and go so the tree is upside down, but I didn't know which side of the chart I should start with, and I have put what I discovered on my Ravelry page for this project if you want to have a little look. I can't show you in too much detail because it is a paid for pattern, and it's a little bit hard to get your head around the fact that the right side is purl and the wrong side is knit, because I've never done that before, and even though it's easy, you think just remember the purl side is the right side, you just forget. But I have got the hang of it now and I'm enjoying knitting it, so hopefully I'll get that finished quite soon, way before December. I'll just put this on the frame. My next work in progress, oh sorry, I've got wool on me now, is in this little Christmas bag by Ellie from Craft House Magic, and it's a pair of socks. I haven't used a pattern as such because I am knitting my very first sock tube. Here it is. Let's take the yarn away from there. And this yarn is the West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply in the Robin colourway. And if you can just see peeping out there is a little Robin progress keeper from Chapel View Crafts, so I thought that was very appropriate. The yarn I bought from Angela from Yarn and Yarns because she was a vendor at the marketplace of the Knit Tea Retreat, so I bought that from her, and she has got on a podcast, Yarn and Yarns, and obviously Ellie from Craft House Magic has a podcast, and they have both put tutorials on how to do sock tubes on their channels, so I thought it was appropriate that I use the yarn I bought from Angela and the bag I bought from Ellie to put together my little project of these winter socks. And obviously the little Robin progress keeper adds to the Christmassy touch. That's my next work in progress. That's really nice because I cast on 64 stitches using 2.5mm needles, where I usually use 2.25, but I thought because I'm going to do afterthought everything, it might be nicer if they were a little bit looser, just to be on the safe side. So I cast on 64 stitches. I did 16 rows of 2x2 rib, and then I just started knitting round and round, and it's really nice because usually with socks, the first sock I have to keep I make sure I count how many rows I do until I get to the heel, and then how many rows from the heel to the toe, and then I have to make sure I do the same on the second sock. But this one you just go round and round and round because you will do all the measuring later. So that's my other project. My next project should really have been finished weeks ago because I finished all the knitting weeks ago, but I haven't sewn it together. So I've sort of clipped it together to show you. And it's my Bonnie sweater by Kim Hargreaves. And I'm knitting it in Drops Kid Silk in Pearl Grey, although it does look lilac-y, which is fine by me. And the reason why I've taken so long to knit it, to sew it up, is because you have to sew these raglans. It's a bit hard to show you. And I was a bit worried my stitching wouldn't be neat enough. So I've sewn that one seam and undone it about 4 times. And in the end, I just thought I'm just going to sew it up and be done with it. And it's fine. I was worrying about nothing. So hopefully I'll get that finished well, I was going to say before the next podcast, but I need to tell you about that at the end of the episode. So anyway, I shall get that finished soon. I like to sew things in the mornings, in the daylight, or in the day in the daylight, and so I've only really got the weekends to do that sort of thing, and so it might have to wait till the weekend. On to crochet. This project is an ongoing project, like lots of us have, either a memory square blanket or a crochet blanket. Mine's a crochet one. I've got this pattern, it's a bit battered, I'm not sure where I got it from, and it's called V-Stitch Crochet Blanket, and I don't think I'm actually following the pattern. It's a very simple pattern, it's like 4 rows. But I think I went wrong at the beginning, so I've just basically cast on or chained on the amount of stitches they said and sort of done my own thing. But this is my progress on this, and the reason why I'm showing you this, oh, my crochet hook is holding it down, is I have added a couple of rows because if you remember from one of my previous episodes, Davina from Little Workroom Crafts sent me some of her minis, and the smaller minis I put in here at the top, and the larger ones have gone into my yarn ball. Ooh, dropping my pattern. Where's my yarn ball? Into my yarn ball, which I'm keeping in this lovely yarn bowl that I got from Wonderwool a couple of years ago. So look how big that is now. I should have weighed it really. So I've got the last layers are Davina's minis, and underneath that are some of my minis. They're mini scraps from other projects, and when I've got enough, I'm going to knit the flax light because Davina did that. She's her Little Workroom Crafts. She's got a podcast, and she showed on there her flax light made from scraps, and I thought it was a wonderful idea, and I'm copying along, and I think Tina from Simply in Stitches is doing the same as well. But that's a project for the new year because I don't think I'm going to get round to that this year. So anyway, that's a little bit of progress on my blanket. It's really nice to crochet a blanket in the winter because it's on your lap, you can watch the telly, and it's very simple, and it keeps your legs warm at the same time. And I've got another little progress keeper here, which is a gingerbread man from Chapel View Crafts because I am a fan. And I'm going to put that on my crochet blanket because I never so I can see my progress really. And that is kept in this bag, which was Jodie's favourite cushion cover when she was a little girl, and I thought it made a perfect project bag for the blanket because it's going to grow and grow and there's plenty of room in there. All I had to do was swap the zip to the top because it was at the bottom, and now it's my blanket project bag. My next item is a finished object in crochet. I don't think you've seen this at all. And it's a hat for Jack that Jodie and Matthew were out shopping a while ago, and they saw this hat that they liked for Jack, and they both said that they thought I could make it just as well as in the shop and for free. So they sent me a picture of the hat, and it was very similar to this one, which is the Dinosaur hat pattern. And this is a paid for pattern, and it's by Sweet Potato 3 Patterns. It's American pattern, so it's obviously got American terms. So I've just put the translation into the English terms on a piece of paper there. Save me looking it up all the time. And here it is. I made it out of scrap yarn. I made Harry a jumper a long time ago using this Caron Simply Soft yarn, and this colourway is Ocean, and I haven't got the ball band for the red, but I use that because it's nice and soft and squidgy. The only difference I made to the pattern with these spikes because in the pattern they're only halfway around and we wanted them all the way around. And I only did little short chains here because Jack is one and he puts everything in his mouth, and I didn't want him to be putting strands of yarn in his mouth. So it's his birthday in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be one of his birthday presents. So I hope they like that. And Harry has already said he'd like one too, so his is coming next. I think I might do it the other way around, so he can have a red hat with blue spikes. So that's everything I'm working on for knitting and crochet, and now we move on to sewing. I have a finished object, and I haven't got it here with me because I filmed a little clip earlier on today with a special guest who wanted to show you the finished item with me. So I shall insert that here and see you in a moment. Yeah, ready to talk to everybody on there. I have, oh, okay. I have a special guest with us today. We've got Charlie here to talk about her new coat. What did you think about your coat? Did you think? She wasn't impressed. Yeah. I made it using Simplicity 8277, and I made that one, which that dog looks a pretty big dog. I don't know what pedigree, what breed it's supposed to be. I think it's meant to be a Labrador, and Charlie's not that big, are you? But it's sewed up too small, and the pieces are quite simple, so I could have made them bigger, but I didn't think to. I just made the biggest size because I thought she would be no bigger than that dog. So anyway, here it is. I've got the pom-pom. Pom-pom. Do you like a pom-pom, Charlie? And here's her coat. If you remember, I bought a pet blanket. Yes, it's yours. A pet blanket from Home Bargains, and some brushed cotton pillowcases from Primark. And it was quite simple to do. It was nice to be lined, and it had a hood, and you had to put some elastic in the hood. But the hood doesn't fit properly, does it, Charlie? Should we show them? Look up then. Look up. Up, 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 up. Biscuit in it for you later. No. Anyway, the hood doesn't fit, so obviously it's just for show. And the body wasn't long enough, so this strap that was meant to go under Charlie's tummy wouldn't fit. So I put it in the front instead, although that makes it's a little bit too big to be in the front, so I'm going to have to adjust that. And the ribbon that tied the blanket together, because it came as a sort of little parcel, I used that for around Charlie's tummy because it already had the Velcro connections on it, so I just transferred them to her coat. We did go out and about, didn't we, Charlie? We went for walkies, didn't we? We went for walkies to the park. Yes, and you modelled your coat. Yes, you did. And she walked over the bridge. At first, when she was coming over the bridge, I thought she was running, but she's got such a bad limp. She was limping that made her look like she was lolloping along. So she was very brave, and she was such a good girl, and she modelled it. So I'll put that in, and that's all I've got to say about it, really. If you've got a large dog and you fancy making this coat, it is nice, but I would definitely size up the pattern pieces. There we are. Do you want a biscuit? Do you want a biscuit for being a good girl? I bought this little house. Whoops, it's not working. when we went to the NEC, and it's got one of those little cones in, and it's supposed to smoke out of the chimney, but it keeps going out, so I need a little bit more practice. It's so cute. And the flavours, well not flavours, scents that these cones are lovely. In my bag on the way home, they smell delicious. This one, I think, is apple. And I'm going to keep it here behind Charlie's bed. Because Charlie, sorry Charlie, but you can be a bit stinky. You can be a bit stinky. And now you'll smell of apples. Yes. Say bye-bye then. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that little clip with Charlie. On to acquisitions. So as I said earlier on, I went to the marketplace of the Knitting Retreat and I was very good and I only bought a few things, so I thought I'd share those with you. So you've already seen the West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply yarn in Robin that I bought from Angela from Yarn and Yarns that I'm using in my sock tube, and it also comes with a free pattern, and this is the pattern, and it is a really pretty pattern, but I really wanted to try a sock tube, but I will use this pattern again, and it's on the back of a Christmas card, so it's really pretty, and then obviously the pattern is inside, so I will be doing that at some point. I also bought, let's get these out, a stitch marker. It's got all little confetti stars in a ball from Caroline, I think that's how you pronounce the name, from Colourful Creativity. She's from the Netherlands and she was a vendor obviously at the marketplace. And I bought some badges from Owl About Yarn. This one is just sorry, it's a bit hard to show because I've had to put a light on because it's so dark. That's a little badge saying Owl About Yarn. If I tilt it, maybe. And this one is I knit so I don't kill people. And the last one is shh, I'm counting. I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, they're just a bit of fun. And while I was on her stall, she has runs Cartref Yarn. So it's Jenny of Owl About Yarn and Zoe from Pins and Needles, and these are the different colourways. And I have this one already, which is that dark one. You can just hold it up separately. But I've only got one skein, so I'm trying to think of what else I can have to go with it to make something. So that you can't really see. Anyway, that's Glor, which apparently is coal in Welsh. And I also picked up a copy of Zoe's latest sock pattern, and it's that one there, the Party Bunting socks, which I thought would be really nice, a really nice pattern to make for when it's somebody's birthday. So in September, Jodie may well be getting a pair of these. She likes my hand knit socks and they are so cute, and they've got little rows of bunting and then quite sort of deep ridges, so I don't really know how you do that, so that would be interesting to find out how to make the ridges. So they're all my acquisitions from the marketplace. As I said, I'm trying to be a bit good because I have a small craft room and it's getting very full. I also have some purchases from when I went to the craft show, but I wasn't very good. I didn't really pay attention to where I bought the items from, and I found this year not many of the stall holders put their business cards in, so I couldn't sort of put the cards with the purchases to show you either. But I know this one because they gave me a lovely big bag. So Bombay Stores, they had lots and lots of fabric for sale, and I bought a metre of this dog Pori print fleece. Can you guess who I'm going to make something for out of this. I'm going to make a new cover for Charlie's bed because I always have to wash the cover and dry it and put it on the same day, and I hang her bed up so she can't lie on it, and she gives me those sad eyes because she hasn't, well, she has got other place. She lies on the rug all the time, but if I take her bed up, she gives me a very dirty look. So I can swap the covers over, and while one's in the wash, she can have that one on. It's nice and fleecy, so it'll be cozy for her. Hopefully she'll be more impressed with this than she was her coat. I'll put that there. I also bought 1/2 metre of this ribbing to make Harry and Jack some sort of, well, legging stroke tracksuit bottoms. They had a lot of patterns there for children, and they went, Jack is 1 and Harry's 6, so, and some of the patterns went through all those sizes, so I want to make them both a pair of sort of tracksuit bottoms, and they can always wear them as pyjamas. Well, Jack will wear them out anyway because he's only a baby, but if Harry doesn't really want to wear them out, he can just have them for lounging around the house. And I have some fabric that I think I bought at the craft show last year. Oh no, it must have been the year before because I didn't go last year. That's blue and it's got little sort of cartoony lions over it. I was going to make a top for me, but now I think I'll use that with this and make them some tracksuit bottoms. There was a very nice lady, and the stuff she had on her store was really nice. I did ask for her business card because she's got a website, and she'd run out. She'd give them all out because we don't get there till the Sunday, and the craft show starts on the Friday. So they were obviously very busy, and she ran out. So I could take, I took a photo of her card, so I'll try and insert that here, or I'll put the details of her shop here because her stuff was lovely, and it was just so nice being able to talk to someone, feel the fabrics and actually hold them and ask her opinion, ask how much of this I'd need to make the tracksuit, and it was just really nice. Usually I have to order everything online, and it's just nice to chat to people and have a bit of professional advice. So I'm looking forward to making those soon. And what else did I get? They were selling magazines off towards the end really cheaply. So I got this So Christmas magazine. And there's some patterns in there, and I haven't opened it yet, for £1. And also a Colour Me Mindful colouring book, because I also bought some pens in one of the stalls, which I'm not showing here, but so I'm going to have a little go at colouring things in, and Jodie likes colouring as well, but she's got no time to colour, so maybe she'll have a go at it as well. We'll have to see. And then I also picked up some of these frilly zips, and I thought these would look quite nice on project bags, and I might make a few more project bags, and I thought the little frilly zips on the top would look quite nice instead of trying to hide them. And lastly, well, last of the crafty things, I can't show some things, like I say. I've got some things here for me and Harry to do. So there's some little Christmas, well, Father Christmases, little sort of wooden ones. So I thought we could paint those up and put some glitter on them. And this one is a little elf sewing some toys, and it comes on a stand. So I thought that might be nice. I might give that one to Martin to do because he's quite artistic and he won't draw a scary face on it like I might. And I also got 2 of these because I thought I could use them as a stencil, but also paint those too. And last but not least, some little light bulbs that I can string up and maybe put in the doll's house. So I didn't go too mad, but I had a lovely day, and obviously some of the things I bought were presents, so I can't show you those. So that's everything I think this week. I am off to IKEA this afternoon with my friend. I'm going to get a new craft or a new sewing table, which I plan to put over there, and that is a corner table. And I'm going to take the bed away because it's only a pop-up bed, but I've got things stored all under there, so I'm going to have to find somewhere to put that. So once I tidy the craft room and put my new table in, I'll give you a little tour. I notice I've had quite a few new subscribers lately, and I'm not sure where you've come from, but you're very welcome, as are or as is everyone who usually watches. And I was wondering if you would leave a comment below this video just to introduce yourself. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it would be nice to interact and get to know you. And if you could say how you found the channel, you know, not how you found it and was it good, but how did you come across the channel? And it would just be nice to find out where you live and your name and what you like to do. I know when I first started watching YouTube channels, I never used to leave a comment because I used to think, well, they're not going to want to hear from me, but it is nice to interact with people who watch, and if there's anything you'd like to ask me or you'd like me to show, I'll try and do my best with that. So we are on the 4th of November today. I'm usually babysitting because I was away for the weekend. I've got the day off, and so that's why I'm recording this morning. So I'm a little bit late because I usually record at the end of the month. So I'm not going to record at the end of November because I'm hoping to take part in Vlogmas, and I know a lot of people are doing that already, and I'm a little bit apprehensive because I don't know if I can manage to do a video every day, to record things and put them up at the end of each day, or if it'd be interesting enough, if anyone would want to watch it. But I'm going to give it a try. Because I wanted to do it last year and I didn't, and then I regretted it. So, I mean, if I can't keep it up, I won't do it. It's just, it doesn't matter, does it? I'm just going to give it a try. So if you'd like to follow along with that, that would be wonderful. And if you'd like to leave me a comment to encourage me when I'm doing it, that would also be great. So until the 1st of December, have a lovely few weeks, and I shall see you soon. Bye.